Generation of people that take their socks and their shoes off on the plane. You got to look at their smelly feet, and then they'll literally stand up and they will walk into a commercial airline bathroom. Yeah, use it and then walk and sit back down again.
That's not right.
Yeah, if I was a dictator, those people would be eliminated.
When did you start shaving your head? It looks good.
When did I start shaving? I shaved it. I had my first special. I had it shaved.
Really? I didn't.
Yeah.
When I saw you in New York for the Patrice
I'm glad
thing.
you liked it. I see you
like
losing
it.
the roof there in the back.
Yeah,
You'll be
a
right there with me.
I'll be there
We'll do a buddy cop show.
Exactly.
All right, two balding old guys.
Exactly.
Going after some hairy criminal. You know, I feel bad for right now McDonald's. I feel bad for them.
Why would you feel that?
Because they backpedaled. They allowed fat people to blame them, and it's just over. The second they made the salad, it was over. It was over. They said, you know what? It's our fault. It's our fault. It's our fault you're fat. It isn't. Everybody knows it's fattening. You don't order 50 sandwiches, right? But they're a business. If you order it, they're going to give it to you. That's not their fault.
Yeah. Colorado, he trains Rose Namajunas.
Yeah. Kamaru Usman.
Oh, Rose Namajunas.
Do you love her?
I love her.
I love her too.
I love all the USC female fighters. That's why I want my daughter to know how to know all of that stuff.
That'd be cool, huh?
When she meets a creep like you, she could choke you out.
You don't have any kids.
No, I don't. And I don't like the way you said that. Like you said, it's very... You don't have any kids. No, I don't have any kids. I'm going to adopt.
That's nice.
I'm going to rescue a couple of the children that work till 4 in the morning to put this. They make them catch it when it rains. Okay, and you have to stand out there until it's full.
F is in the family.
F is for family.
F is for family.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Dude,
I have low in the totem pole.
I have a problem. I have a problem.
Your girlfriend or wife's, you know, their friends give you pressure, like, what are you going to get her?
Yeah.
What are you going to get her? It's like, I don't know. What is she going to get me?
Yeah.
She's going to get me a flat screen? No, it's ridiculous. The pandering you have to do. No, it's like, am I in some third world country? I got to buy off the corrupt dictator here? Like,
the deepest couch in sports entertainment.
A lot of people think that they're uncomfortable with my elevation. Are you uncomfortable with it?
No, I just see all of your insecurities.
How many siblings do you have?
I don't know, dude. The internet's too fucking weird to give out all that information.
Oh, you don't even want to say how many because you're afraid that it will
by all means,
compromise
keep
your
talking
privacy.
about it. Is there any way you can cut this out? I'm honest, dude. Like,
seriously?
Yeah, no, dude. There's fucking lunatics out there.
Okay.
Whoa.
Off the air, I'll cut.
All right.
Jeez. I love how surprised he is. Jeez.
Well, you can mention the amount.
Absolutely crazy people out there.
Okay, yeah.
And I always hated when somebody who didn't have a kid goes, "You don't get it, man. You don't get it till you have." And I was like, "Fuck you, I get it. It's like having a dog, but it's more intense."
You know what because the older guys, Robert Kelly's and all that, they all call you Billy. Colin calls you Billy, but I fucking Bill.
I'm
you know
just
what I mean?
immediately noticing that I don't know about the chain if it's thick enough to be that level of confidence.
Yeah,
it's more of a necklace.
Your Christian background is part of the show. Or at
Yes,
least
and
two
I wanted
episodes.
to talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people thought maybe you went a little too far. You know.
As far as what?
Well, they thought that maybe you were being disrespectful to the Christian religion.
Who did?
I'm telling you, you need to Google.
oh, good Lord.
Look around. Most people are weird looking. Look at me. I'm 100% white dude. I'm a weird looking dude. The best dogs are mixed dogs. They're the chillest dogs. I'm telling you.
You're right. You're absolutely right on that.
Yeah. That's why all over there in England, the royal family. That's why they're all so weird looking. They're all banging in the same pool. They're like a bunch of Dalmatians that can talk.
That's right. You're whatever incognito. You're an enigma.
What, because I make a pie? No, you know what it is? You're not a good listener. You've known me for 10 years. You have no idea who I am. It's all about comedy with you and moving up the ladder and pushing people down.
Now, are you getting out of an existing house and
No, I'm going from a one-bedroom apartment, and I figured I'd finally go out and buy a damn house and not have to deal with, some jerk living above me or below me.
All right.
Yeah. Do my own little thing. Get my little 12 gauge, get a bunch of cans of tuna, get ready for the apocalypse. That's what I want to do. You just ignore them. It's like 3 days. They flip out for 3 days. They try to bully you into an apology.
Well, you can't ignore them when they're right in the audience and you're playing to them.
You tell them to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, believe me.
It's a comedy
you know
show. Trump's winning New Hampshire. Hillary's winning Virginia.
Really?
And there's a little kid here.
Yeah, somebody decided it was a good idea.
Somebody please take a photo of this Last Supper.
The Me Too movement has killed the blowjob. My wife will not suck my dick on her knees ever again. It never will happen.
Because your stomach is pushing down her fucking neck. I thought you were laughing. You were fucking yawning over here.
No, the mushrooms are fucking killing me, man.
I knew it wasn't just weed. I was just like, there's no way I'm taking a hit off of that. There's something going on here.
Mushrooms, baby. The shrooms. I'm shrooming.
You know how fucked up this is? He's shrooming, and he's wearing pants like he went riding a horse today. Like side saddle or some shit.
While people are talking about eating fake pussies.
That was before.
I don't want to be responsible for that shit. I didn't. But if the kid was in the fucking building.
Before. Will you shut up?
Although I'm so glad I'm not in that type of relationship, because I can't imagine loving this kid with all your heart that half looks like somebody that you absolutely fucking hate. That's got to be so weird.
A constant reminder.
Yeah, and they just little mannerisms, like the way the kid eats little hands eating toast. Oh my God, that's that bitch right there.
Yeah, I'm a loner, man. I don't like people. So...
Yeah, you're not lying.
I don't.
Yeah, I know.
This Fifth Avenue during Christmas time, the thoughts that go through my head. I just want to chop that tree down and watch it land on people as I walk over their heads.
People are so scared now. You have the male feminist. Like, where the fuck did that come from? Just out of nowhere. Last couple years, I'm a male feminist. I've always championed women. No, you haven't. You haven't. This shit came out and you're fucking scared. You did something. You grabbed some fucking titties. What the fuck did you do that you have to overcorrect that fucking hard? What kind of a man who still has his balls is walking around saying that he's a male feminist? I'm a male feminist. I totally see the way you see the fucking world. You can agree with it, you can empathize, sympathy, you can do all of that shit, but you can't be it any more than I can stand here and just be like, I'm a Black Panther. Fight the power. And then I walk out the door, a blue-eyed white dude, and I get to live that fucking life, right?
This is Southside Steve, and this is Southside Steve TV, and this is Bill Burr.
That's your question?
I'm just saying who you are.
Oh, yeah, all right. I don't like you. Creep me out with that big microphone and that country western shirt.
Oh, no, this isn't country western. It's like, it's hip now to wear this. This is my nightclub look. Yeah, come on.
All right. This is. I guess this is the internet, right? You just sort of just throw it out there.
I just throw it out there. I figure you're a funny guy,
throw it out there. I'll throw it out there too.
Well, here's the deal. Bill's a comedian. He's at the Punchline. He's in town, and you're a funny guy. You've got these routines in your head, so I figure I'll toss you a mic and you go.
And I'm going to do stand-up in front of 9 people in a radio station? No, I'm not doing that.
Well, you're taking the fun out of Southside Steve TV.
How about I give you $5 and I want to watch you line dance and I'm a racist cowboy.
They talk about Hollywood going like, Hollywood, they create these impossible body images, blah, blah, blah. You know, that whole thing, the plus-size actress, right? The fatties, you know? That's like a big thing. They're sick of being treated like fat people. I don't know what it is they're doing. They're going on the cover of magazines now, just like showing how fat they are, wearing a little bit amount of clothes. And everybody's like hyping them up, like, oh my God, that's so brave. That's so courageous. Like, what am I supposed to do if I ever see a fireman running out of a building carrying a baby and an old lady? Am I going to sit there like, oh my God, you're like a fat actress that takes her shirt off to do a magazine shoot to promote the movie she's in.
You really are the whitest person I've ever seen around.
Yes, served me well. I've never worked for anything. Yeah, I was born on a yacht. It's just all been downhill.
I don't even mean it in. I don't mean it in a genetic way. I mean like.
I do.
You.
I'm talking full-on white privilege. I was stunned when I first heard about white privilege. I had no idea what it was. I was like, hey, everybody doesn't get to do this.
It seems as if the sun
Pulling
has
up
never
to job
touched you.
interviews right as I get out of the car. You're hired. Go home.
Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know. A lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another.
What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear, right? Just throwing out ideas. Well, there's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it. Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there, Comic-Con, and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their Acne and their Hulk shirts, limping into the arena, right? Does Steve Jobs go out with a whole chorus line of scientists? No, he goes out there by himself. Sneakers and no belt, like it was no biggie, right? like he's Tesla. Tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. What, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. You're eating your old rollerblades. All right, I'm out of time. You guys are great. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
No means no, that's another one. No means no. It's like, no, it doesn't. All right? Look, no means no. No, that means no. All right, but no, stop it. What are you doing? Oh my God. You're being so bad. Stop it. No. Yeah, that's not a fucking no. That means I want to do it, but I'm afraid you're going to judge me, so I'm just going to make it look like it was your idea so you don't figure out that I've already performed this act with 40 other fucking people. Right? Then you go to court and you get a bad read and there's some guy reading it. Your Honor, she said no. Stop it. What are you doing? You're being so bad. Yeah, and you're just sitting there like, she didn't fucking say it like that. She didn't say it like that. Yeah. So now everybody's just like scared shitless. You know? Because I guess if women ran the world, there'd be no war. Evidently, there'd be no due process either. So you just gotta sit there going, No, it's fucking nuts. People are so scared now. You have the male feminist. Like, where the fuck did that come from? Just out of nowhere, last couple years. I'm a male feminist. I've always championed women. No, you haven't. You haven't. This shit came out and you're fucking scared. You did something. You grabbed some fucking titties. What the fuck did you do that you have to overcorrect that fucking hard? What kind of a man who still has his balls is walking around saying that he's a male feminist? I'm a male feminist. I totally see the way you see the fucking world. It's impossible as a man who was raised right. To be a feminist. You can't do it. You're a man. Look, you can agree with it, you can empathize, sympathy, you can do all of that shit, but you can't be it any more than I can stand here and just be like, I'm a Black Panther. Fight the power. And then I walk out the door, a blue-eyed white dude, and I get to live that fucking life, right? I don't know, ladies. I don't buy it. Maybe you do, I don't. Anytime I hear a guy say I'm a male feminist, I always just think that is the most pathetic, limp dick way ever to try and get some pussy, right? Like, that is literally the fucking game you had when you were on a first date when you were 16. You were all nervous and your whole game plan was just agree with her. Maybe she'll touch it. So, what are your favorite bands? I like whatever you like. Will you touch it now? Did I do it right? Yeah, it's a weird time right now. I'm glad that I'm fucking, married now. I don't gotta fucking deal with any of that shit. You know? Younger guys, I don't know. How do you deal with it? Like, you know what was really fucked up in all of this now? Is what about women who like it rough? Right? That doesn't happen here in the jolly old England, right? Not at all. Everybody gets all dead silent. Big fucking elephant in the fucking room, right? Yeah. How the fuck do you... What's that?
Ask for consent.
Ask for consent? Doesn't that take the mood? Well, Jesus, that kind of took it in a weird way. Dude, whatever the fuck I was saying, however you heard it, that's not what the fuck I'm saying, all right? You know, I really listened to this Me Too movement. I think for the first time in my life, I'm gonna ask for consent. I'm really gonna do it this time. I've been feeling... This is why you can't judge comedians. Do you understand this? Do you understand what the fuck I was saying and how this fucking jackass just heard it? You know? The second it comes out of my mouth, it's not what I said anymore. It goes into your fucking ear hole and gets cut with your whole fucking childhood. Oh, this is what he means. Sir, if I could get along with my point, if you wouldn't mind that. No, like fucking women who like it rough. Like, that's gotta be so fucking weird. I remember when I was a single man, long time ago. A lot of hair ago, right? Still wasn't a good look, but I was single. I was out there taking some at-bats. I remember that shit. You meet a woman, and when it started going down that road, like you knew you were gonna hook up, what you try to do, you try to get a jump on it, right? You try to figure out what they liked in the bedroom, because you wanted to satisfy them, because there's nothing worse than if you don't satisfy them, and you know they're gonna tell all their friends, and then you gotta fucking move, and now there's social media, you got a fucking nickname, it's a nightmare. So you just try to, you try to do, a little fucking intelligence, you'd be sitting there hanging out, just being like, yeah, so, what are you into? What do you like to do, right? One night I asked this woman that, she set her drink down, she looked me right in the eye, she's like, I like to get fucked. And I knew what she meant. I was like, all right, this is gonna be one of these. Okay, here we go. We're gonna have to go hard on this one, right? We had a great fucking time. Now, I don't know how I would hit today. I would just be like, all right, I know what you want to do, but like, you're gonna have to do it. You understand? Like, I'm just gonna stand here and then you just back into me however hard you want. You control how hard you're backing into me. Then I'm gonna lay my hand on your shoulder. You can put your ponytail in it. I will slowly close my hand around it. And if at any point you want to yank your head like that, that's on you. My other hand will be just to the right of your right ass cheek. If you want to do one of those, that's fine. But I am not doing anything. I'm just gonna stand here like a giant fuck stick, and you just have at it. You just have at it. Yeah. You know what's hilarious about sexual assault? You know what's hilarious about it is how women are acting like that is a uniquely female experience. You know what's funny? I actually, to the letter of the fucking law, within the last 2.5 years, got sexually assaulted in this business by a woman. Yeah. And this is my story. I feel like I can live my truth and be brave tonight and share this with you. It's a 100% true fucking story. I was doing stand-up. I was doing a private gig, all right? Private gigs are the fucking worst. You do a public gig, anybody can show up. It broadens what you can talk about, right? You do a private gig, it's like everybody grew up on the same fucking streets. All your jokes gotta go right down fucking Main Street or you're bombing. So all you do is listen to the first comic to hear what's working and what isn't. You just listen to him as he's up there struggling, going, okay, they like bread. Talk about bread. Get all the bread you can. Don't make fun of the troops. Stay away from the troops, right? So that's what we're doing, right? And the host gets him going, and then he brings up the first act. Okay, she goes on stage. She's not really a comedian, more of a personality. She does her bullshit or whatever, and I'm standing there looking at my jokes, figuring out what I'm doing. She wraps it up. He goes on stage. She goes to get off. I'm thinking, okay, I'm next. I'm looking at my stuff, and she just walks right by me and just fucking, pooh, just flicked me right in the head of my dick and kept walking. Like it was nothing. Just fucking pow, and just kept... I couldn't fucking believe it. I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, is this a friend of yours? Was she flirting with you? Was this a joke? None of the above. You know what it was? I swear to God, it was like a bully vibe. Like she was trying to get in my head. Like, there you go, you little red dick. Poof, follow that. And she just kept walking. Dude, my first thought as I saw her walking away, I just wanted to punch her in the back of the head as hard as humanly possible. Like literally make her leave her shoes, you know? But the other side of my brain's like, oh no, dude, you can't do that. You can't do that, it's a woman. And it's just spitball. Well, fucking boot her in the ass then. Boot her in the ass. Can't hit her, dude. Can't hit her, it's a woman. Well, fucking tell somebody. Tell somebody. And all I'm thinking is like, dude, I'm a guy. You can't fucking tell anybody. Nobody gives a shit what happens to a guy. I'm gonna walk up to another man and be like, excuse me, sir, but she just flicked me in my pee-pee and I didn't like that one bit. No, sir, I didn't like that at all. No, I didn't. Yeah, there's nothing stopping you other than the fact that you guys are just into destroying each other. No, now it's gonna get quiet. I see all that sneaky shit you do. Ladies, if you could just support the WNBA the way you support a fat chick that's proud of her body and is no longer a threat to you, you know, that league would be doing better numbers than the NBA. Oh my God. That's one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Oh my God, you're a goddess. You're gorgeous. You look great in that bikini. I would kill myself if I looked like that. Keep eating, keep eating. Lose a toe, you fat bitch. It's just... You saw an alcoholic where you'd be like, oh my God, look at you. You're face down, passed out. Your kids are crying. You're a hero. You're a god. Keep doing what you're doing. You'd be like, dude, you need to get your fucking shit together. Get off the sauce. I will say, that's one of the most genius things I've ever seen. How regular-looking women somehow mind-fucked advertising to get beautiful women off of billboards. Yeah, just regular fucking who-gives-a-shit-looking women, right? I'm just being honest. Come on, we're outside. We're in the woods. We can be honest. Just regular, who-gives-a-fuck, can't remember a name, looking women, right? Well, looking at these goddesses, and they had to fucking be the... How am I supposed to compete with that? You can't! How fucking arrogant are you? I don't see Brad Pitt when he takes his shirt off in a movie and, oh, great, how am I supposed to compete with that? I can't. I am an ugly, bald, orange man. I need to write jokes. I gotta put a lampshade on my head. I know what my role is, okay? I should be on the ground gazing up at people better looking than me. I don't know, ladies. This is supposed to be like an inspirational talk. I don't know if it's coming through this way. I'm trying to say, you really like, if you get through all the misdirected anger of my childhood, I'm trying to say, you're smarter than we are, and there's more of you. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying to be, I don't know, trying to be a better person during all of this shit, you know? I am. Do you know I got this new thing, man. I try to help out homeless people. You know? I used to, you know, sometimes I help them out, sometimes I don't. You know, it's like the mood you're in, how much they freak you out, you know? So, this is what I do. This is how you know, you got to do something because, I don't know, people at the top don't seem to be doing anything. I try to bring all my old clothes down to the tent cities to give it to them. All right? It's a good thing to do, but I got to tell you something. You got to do it during the day. All right? You want to do it during the day. When they're tired from Thunderdome the night before, they're coming down from whatever they're on, realizing there's a nail in their shoulder. You want to get them when they're tired. You don't go at night. No one's going to see you again. You're going to end up on a fucking spit. I mean, you're under an overpass. You never know what can happen, okay? I'm just warning you, because they don't make homeless people the way they made them when I was a kid. You know? When I was a kid, a homeless guy was a bum, he was a vagrant, somebody down on his luck or whatever, you know, a wino. They didn't have this Shutter Island shit going on that they had out there, like people talking to trees. You're like right here having like Eggs Benedict. He's like looking through a porthole over your cabbage. Yeah. When I was a kid, you could only be crazy outside for about 15 minutes before a van would pull up and two guys in nurses' outfits would just come walking out. Hey, buddy, how's it going? You're making a lot of racket out here, aren't you? Why don't you do me a favor? Try this shirt on. You're like, okay. How come the sleeves are so long? Oh, because we're going to tie your arms behind your back because you're out of your fucking mind. That's it. I'm not going to have you out here scaring the shit out of people. Get in the fucking van. And you got in the van, and that was it. They send you to a nut house. That's it. Boom, bam, done. Nut house. But the problem was the people at the nut houses started fucking the patients because everybody knows crazy people are great in bed, right? So they're banging away, right? Hey, it happened. You're groaning history, all right? You can shake your heads all you want, all right? But hey, they fucked those people, all right? And they were banging away, doctors with their fucking lab coats flapping in the wind, just banging away until finally, for decades, finally somebody with a heart came walking in like, hey, what the fuck is going on? And then they shut it down, and then they just let all these people go. They all came running out like Mike Myers jumping up on station wagons and shit. So that's the thing. You go during the day. And I gotta tell you, when I pull up to one of these tent cities, I always feel good about myself. I'm good, man, helping out a fellow American. I would want them to do that for me. It's fucking ridiculous. People have to live like that. That's what I think when I'm in the car. And then the second I get out and that smell hits me, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Jesus Christ, these people are animals, right? I would equate it to the same feeling you probably get if you were on a safari and you're in the Land Rover and you look over and you see like a leopard. You're like, ah, look at that leopard over there, right? Then all of a sudden you go over a bump and you fall out of the fucking Range Rover. You're like, oh, fuck, that's a leopard. Yeah, so I pull up and I'm feeling like, you know, fucking Uncle Sam. And then I get out of the car. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck am I doing? I start walking like this. There's always like some sort of movement going on, somebody fucking limping across the street or something. And I've never been able to get close enough to talk really to anybody. You know, like they do on the news. You know, like, Jesus, you've been sitting in here, you know, for a couple of months. What is it like to be inside of this tent? I always wondered how many people they had to choke out before they could get that fucking interview. You know, just coming in, blow darts, numbing up everybody else. Building a perimeter. So What I do is I get about 30 yards away, and then I start walking like this. And I chicken out. I always chicken out. 30 yards away, I just go, free shirts! I run back to the car. And that's when your brain starts playing tricks on you. Like I'm convinced somebody just came running out of the tent with like a 2x4, running after me. So what I always do is I always do a lap around my car before I get in it, you know? Because homeless people have horrible lateral movement. You know, from all those years of sleeping on the sidewalk, their hips are just junk, you know, like an NFL running back. They gotta slow down like a cruise ship, like go right up and over the horizon. So in that time, you go around your car, you get your car, you drive away. You drive away. Your closet's a little more empty. You can go out, you can fill it back up again with shit you don't fucking need, you know, that's what you do. What's that, sir? America, yeah, America, don't think. Just do what you want to do. Take your dick out. You know? I'll tell you, that's what George Washington was talking about. You know? They really need to shut down the internet. They have to shut it. We are clearly too stupid to all be sharing ideas in this giant towny bar that we've created. You guys are all cheering. You're all on the internet just like me. I was on the internet for 6 hours last night. Trying to figure out what kills a beaver, you know? Does a beaver have a natural predator?
What's it like to be a comedian in 2016?
It's the exact same way as it was in 2006 and in 1996. It's a completely exaggerated. They make it seem like you walk into the club and there's people out there with signs and they're throwing
like in the
stuff
Middle
at
East.
you.
Yeah.
They aren't. It's just completely media manufactured. Like you could literally genetically alter the food. You can create a heroin epidemic. They're not going to bring that up. But if you do a Caitlyn Jenner joke every night for 2 years and one person complains, there's a chance that they'll blow it up. It's basically like lazy journalism. It's an easy story, and you know, and then the people who get offended they're childish people. They're not adults because they'll sit there and they'll let 100 subjects goes by and it's all a joke, and then it gets to their neck of the woods, and then all of a sudden it's a statement, and you're up there like, you know, getting legislation enacted for some sort of law to make their life more miserable, whatever their point.
Conventions, Republican convention, Democratic convention?
No. I think if you watch those, you're an idiot. I don't understand why you would sit there wasting your time. They all say the same thing. They're all like, you know, over the last 4 years, everything good that happened was because of us. And we would have done more good stuff if it wasn't for those guys. And then the Democrats go, oh, we did all the good stuff. It's like you're all working for the same guy. They bet on both horses. And then it just kind of goes. You know, it's not for you, right? You vote for that guy that says, like, there's a meteor headed right towards the planet. That's the guy you vote for. You go with the psycho, because there's no way there's any corporate money behind that guy, right? Like, that guy is going to come on TV. He's going to come on TV, like, reading files from the Pentagon. Like, you know what else they're doing? Like, just freaking people out.
Wow.
Yes, I did.
Did you pay attention to the election? We got a new mayor here. Bloomberg is out.
I didn't even know there was an election. I honestly don't. I don't pay attention at all. You know.
It's funny.
Bankers get bonuses of any way. The upper echelon get from like 10 million up to 100 million, and the president of the United States makes like 400 grand a year. So right there, I watched enough wrestling to see a rigged game, and you know, there's like people with YouTube channels making as much as the leader of the free world. So I just think he's set up to be bribed, and you act accordingly. So basically anybody who comes at me going these you know, the conservative right or these liberals, like, I just zone out. I can't even talk to you if you're actually still looking at it like those are two choices that you're getting. You're not. It's the same. Once you get past a certain level, it just seems like it's you know,
all the same.
Yeah, you've jumped in the river. And you act accordingly, or you get that convertible ride in Dallas.
What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear, right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys!
I do not belong to you. I believe I belong to my Father in heaven, and his name is Yahweh! 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 I call in prayer.
This guy, I absolutely fucking love this guy. This guy, he has passion. He's informed. He's a little fucking crazy. He is a true fucking patriot, without a doubt. The amount of people who would watch this guy and because he yells Yahweh would just say that he's a nut job is actually a travesty.
I'm a Jew. I belong.
There's no need to use a taser.
He is illegally tasering me. I am defending myself in favor of that.
An easy spot to be in, you know, and I stayed true to who I was, an uninformed jackass who can't fucking read out loud, who's into conspiracy theory. I talked about Hillary dressing up like a yak and fucking people under a mountain. I talked about Trump being a dope and that whole ridiculous shit about building a fucking wall. I trashed them both equally, but, you know, people who vote for colors, right? You got a blue tie, you can say nothing wrong. You got a red tie, you can't do anything wrong, right? I got so much fucking shit. It's so amazing how people hear things. My point in all of that was like, you know, it'd be kind of cool if we all just stopped yelling at each other. All right? All right, if you want to hear my fucking theories.
Hi, man, what's up? How you doing? Was this too quick a transition? You know what I mean? Like 9, 10 black dudes in a row and then like the whitest man on the planet. Let your eyes adjust. I was watching George Bush today, man. I don't want to be a dick or anything, but could that guy like rehearse before he gives a speech? You know what I mean? Just say it like a couple of times. How awful was he during that hurricane? He's just walking out, man. He's just like winging it. Walking out on the White House lawn, there's like sun in his eyes. He's just out there like, there was a hurricane. People are wet. People don't like being wet unless they're swimming in a pool. He sounded like a little kid giving a book report who like didn't read the book. He's just up there making up shit like, there was a dog and he bit somebody and they didn't like it. Every night I gotta watch that idiot on the news or they're doing stories about how fat kids are getting. You see that every night? Every night they're talking about kids are obese now. Not fat kids, not chubby, they're obese. Like bedridden. Like just laying there like, I had my first heart attack when I was 4. I was riding on my big wheel, I couldn't feel my left side, I began to pass out my head. Yo, I don't want to be a dick, but how do you get that fat that quick? I can see you're 30, 40 years old. You went to McDonald's for 20 years. You got a little gut going. But you're 5 years old. There's no excuse for that shit. I'm telling you, man, that's the parents' fault. You know, stop feeding him. He doesn't have any money. You know, seriously. He can't go get a job so he can go buy more food. He's got to eat whatever you give him. Just put a plate of seaweed right in front of him. Go ahead, eat it. I don't want to eat it. Good, go to bed. Those are your options. I own you until you're 18. Do some jumping jacks. No, but these parents are ridiculous. They act like they have no control. They're like, well, I don't know what to do. I mean, I tried to make him eat a salad, but he didn't want to eat it. He was like, no, I want a cupcake. I said, you can't have it. But then he sat on my chest, and I couldn't breathe, and I just wanted to get up after a while. People, you need tough love at that moment. If your kid is obese and he's still asking for cake, you got to be like, no, you little shit. You're eating carrots and celery until I can pick you up again. This is ridiculous. You got a goddamn hernia on your birthday. I know that seems harsh to be making fun of obese kids. I'll tell you why I'm doing it. They don't really exist. At least to the level that they're saying it's an epidemic. You know, which means when I leave the theater tonight, I should have, like, difficulty getting to my car because of all these fat fucking kids out there like, Jesus Christ, they're everywhere. They're like locusts.
Baseball, no, it's not quite the way it used to be. I don't like that whole thing, like when you go to a game, if you catch a foul ball, you got to, like, give it to a kid now.
What are you talking about?
That's why kids are all mushy and fat. They don't got to work for anything.
I'll get in trouble later on in my life. Transgender athletes, I don't fucking understand that, you know? I understand it if, you want to switch around. I don't give a shit. But I'm a sports fan. That's a really new concept to me, that you can be a dude, right? Ranked 80th in the fucking world. You have your dick cut off, you put on a sports bra, and now you're the #1 tennis player in the world, just coming out there with your man shoulders. That doesn't seem fair. I might be wrong. I might just be an old guy. I have no idea. But I'm hearing rumors like some of them are getting into that MMA. You can't have that shit. Am I nuts? That is a dickless dude beating the shit out of a woman. Jesus Christ. He might as well hit her with his discarded dick like a flashlight. Hold still. No, it's grounded. Her grounded pound is incredible.
If enough athletes, you're saying, use steroids.
Destroy themselves with steroids. They'll figure out how, they do it with singers. If a singer can't sing, she gets to use a steroid.
Yeah.
Right?
So you say it's going to improve the drugs so that we get to use them?
I'm saying by the time we're 80, they're going to have like a steroid vaporizer that you can just inhale, and you're going to have abs. I'll get a full head of hair, and you're going to be banging some hot 65-year-old. And it's all going to be because of these athletes and the sacrifices that they make that no one appreciates. I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, and she starts bitching, going like, I don't understand. How come female athletes don't make as much as male professional athletes? And all of these men had to sit there and act like they didn't know what the answer was. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, why is that? Literally, I'm sitting at home screaming at the TV because you don't sell any fucking tickets! Nobody is going to women's soccer games! You're playing in a 20,000-seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his fucking ass on that gig. I'm not saying no professional female athletes, Serena Williams, the women in the UFC, but nobody's watching your fucking sport. And then you're going to come and you're going to get mad at fucking men. They keep doing that shit. Why are you yelling at us? It's not our fucking job. It's not my fucking job to give a fuck about women's soccer, okay? I have men's sport to pay attention to. It's your bullshit, right? Dude, look at the WNBA. Nobody in the WNBA got COVID. Nobody. They have been playing in front of 300 to 400 people a night for a quarter of a century. Not to mention, it's a male-subsidized league. We gave you a fucking league. None of you showed up. Where are all the feminists? None of you went to the fucking games. None of you. You failed them. Not me. Not men. Women failed the WNBA. Ladies, name your top 5 all-time WNBA players of all time. Come on. That's it. Name 5 WNBA teams. Name the WNBA team in your fucking city. You can't do it. I'm watching a ball game, and all of a sudden everybody stands up holding up a sign of somebody that they either know that's dying of cancer or died of it in the middle of the game. It's just like, what are you doing? No, there's a time and a place. I I know somebody that has died of cancer. I would never go to the movies with you and in the middle of it hit pause and be like, oh, by the way, Conan.
I don't know what the fuck. I was bitching about, NFL football. I was complaining about how, you know how it is, Joe. The game just isn't played the way it was played when I used to watch it.
Oh, it's all, they play it for the cameras, not for the fans.
It's all dessert, Joe. It's like a fat kid. It's all offense. They're just sitting there fucking licking the frosting. 50 to 48 fucking games, and everybody's saying, one of the most unbelievable games I've ever seen.
What do you explain that to me? Because I'm not a sports guy. What does that mean?
It'd be like if Fast and the Furious meets sports. That's what it is. Where it's like, yeah, the cars are cool, Vin Diesel's cool and all that, but it's just like that was probably a bad example. Like there's people who don't like baseball want to see 100 home runs a game, right? People into baseball, they don't mind watching a pitcher's duel.
Right.
They don't mind seeing a little hit and run. Somebody lay down a fucking bunt. Somebody who fucking hates baseball is they just want to see somebody smash it out of the fucking park. So these sports have learned that. So basketball has done it. Hockey is, I think, because of head injuries and shit. It was already fast or whatever, but like they all just have gone. I think they've hit maximum density as far as they've gotten all the sports fans that they can get, and now they're trying to get the casual fan. And the casual fan, I guess, is offense. But I've talked about this too much on my own podcast, so I don't want to overlap here, Joe. We came here. What's that?
Let me ask you this though. You don't have to go down the road if you've already talked about it too much. But Mike, so I just want to make sure I understand. What you're saying is now they're training the players in baseball, for instance, go out and try to hit a fucking homer every time.
No, they juiced up the balls. They made the fucking.
Oh, okay.
That's what they did back in the day. They juiced up the balls. They let the players do juice. They looked the other fucking way and then acted surprised when all half their no-necked fucking roster. Really? I thought my second baseman hitting 45 home runs was normal. No second baseman hits that many.
Right.
But in football, they just made a ton of rules that just made it really difficult as a defense to fuck people up and take control of the game physically, to fucking manhandle an offense, to intimidate the shit out of them. Okay. They took away all of that. Like, Joe, you could literally play professional football. You could take a hit as a quarterback now. I'm not saying you'd get up, but you'd at least get the penalty and a first down, and when your backup came in and they dragged your lifeless body off the fucking...
Fair enough.
No, back in the day, they'd be like, that's football, all right? But they would actually feel bad for you now. Oh, vicious, cheap shot. He tackled him with both hands. It was terrible. It was almost like he was trying to prevent them from scoring. Now, but we didn't come here to talk about this, Joe.
All right. This is one tiny sports thing I could actually say that I've actually heard, that I remembered.
What's that?
Because I remember growing up, somebody broke like Hank Aaron's home run record or some shit. And I remember one kid being like, that's amazing. And then the other kid being like, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Hitting homers now isn't the same thing as Hank Aaron hitting homers. It was harder for him to hit homers. And I never knew what it meant till right now. It's like
when Hank Aaron played, the mound was actually higher. So as far as physics go, the guy was fucking throwing the heat and he was coming down at you. Joe, you've gotten in a lot of fights in your life, arguments anyways.
Sure.
You ever go to a game or something or a concert or something and you watch somebody try to fight somebody from the row behind? Yeah, and one guy's punching up and the other guy's punching down. Now, unless you got 6 inches on the other guy, you're just immediately at a disadvantage. So you had all these power pitchers from back then were like they were so fucking dominant and they got so good that then it was like they actually had to just because they were having like 1-0 games evidently. I mean, that's before my time, the 1960s or whatever, but like Don Drysdale, Sandy Koufax were crushing it there. Was it Josh Gibson? Who was the guy? It's all before my time. I'm getting old. I can't remember the guy in the fucking Cardinals. They were just destroying guys. So they lowered the mound, and they've always done shit like that.
Did you ever hear the Jerky Boys Sandy Koufax call?
No.
It's one of the funniest calls. He's like, what the fuck is the premise of he calls a guy to like go look at his truck or something, and because the guy's selling a truck, it's something unrelated to baseball, and he just starts talking about baseball, like that's the prank, and he's like, He's like, did you ever play any baseball? Sometimes you take a line drive straight to your fucking cock. And he keeps referencing Sandy Koufax, and he talks this guy in fucking circles. And then he's like, you got me talking about fucking Sandy Koufax over here. Totally flips it, blames it on the other guy, which is my favorite crank call.
I never heard that one.
It's so funny, man. It was on like one of the... I remember I downloaded it off the internet. It was like a fucking B-side or something. But it was like... it's my favorite when a crank caller flips it on the other guy and starts blaming him.
Oh, my favorite one was the super across the way.
It's amazing.
When he starts yelling at that guy. And don't have me come down for you.
Yeah.
All right, super across.
Look, jerky.
You got it, punk. And he just fucking hangs up on him.
So evidently what happened was, in World War II, old Adolf came rolling into town, okay, with his tanks with the Porsche engines in them, took over the town in like fucking 90 minutes. She freaked out. She closes up her shop, right? Figured out where all the head Nazis were staying, what hotel. She moved in there, and she started a relationship with one of the Nazis. Yeah, she started fucking a Nazi. You ever see those Holocaust videos? Huh, with those piles of kid shoes? Yeah, she was sucking the dick that did that. Now, just to refresh my memory, what did Sean Connery do again? Oh, you know, every once in a while you give him a little slap. That's what he did. She's sitting there like, hey, Adolf, what's going on? She so sold out her own country, she had to flee it at the end of the war. And I have no idea how many dicks she had to suck to get back in it. But I'll tell you, despite all of that, I still don't judge her. I don't. Because I've never been in that situation. You know, I've never been in a country where all of a sudden the most powerful army the world has ever seen comes in and takes it over in a couple hours. She must have been terrified, right? And she's a woman. You know, she's into fashion. They show up with those Hugo Boss uniforms. You know, her knees buckle a little bit. Things start getting ugly. People are getting shot in the street. She's freaking out, you know. And she's a woman. And women know, push comes to shove. When you get your back against the wall, no matter how bad it gets, they always have the option of fucking their way out of a situation. They always got that card they can play, right? All women know this. All women know this. Men don't realize this till they go to prison. But women learn this early on. She had the option, and she took it. I can't get mad at her for that, you know? So she's dead and gone. I think she's up there in heaven. I think she made it. She's up there with Sean Connery. Every once in a while, they have a disagreement. He gets a little slap, you know? She doesn't care. Once you shit on a Nazi's chest, I mean, a little backhand's not going to freak you out. Jesus can't say anything. He got a hooker, right? Everybody's got a little something they did. Yeah, there you go. So, still buy your Coco Chanel. She's still a hero. She was a victim. She was a victim of that time. She was frightened. She was scared. She didn't know what to do. Anyway. So, we're living in a fucking weird time. Obviously, beyond all the bullshit that's going on now, like, every time I think feminism has kind of like died off, you know, like a band you can't stand, and they haven't put out an album in a few years. You're like, oh, good. Did they quit? Did they break up? And all of a sudden they come out with some more shit. You're like, ah, fuck. What is it now? I'm just fucking with you. Feminism doesn't bug me, you know. It doesn't bother me. I'm not afraid of it or anything like that, you know, for the simple fact that I know it's gonna fail, you know, and I take comfort in that. I do. I'm not rooting for it because I know it doesn't like me. Yeah. Do you know why I think it's not going to survive? Why it's not going to be successful anyways? Because they still need men's help to make it happen. I don't understand it. I don't understand why women just can't work with each other and make this shit happen. They keep coming to us like, you more men need to care about this issue. Where are the men to stand up and say something. Like, why do I have to fucking say something? This is your fucking problem. Why are you always dragging us into this shit? I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, and she starts bitching, going like, I don't understand. How come female athletes don't make as much as male professional athletes? Right? And all of these men had to sit there and act like they didn't know what the answer was. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, I don't know. Why is that? That is a conundrum. I have no idea. Literally, I'm sitting at home screaming at the TV because you don't sell any fucking tickets. Nobody is going to women's soccer games. You're playing in a 20,000-seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his fucking ass on that gig. I'm not saying no professional female athletes, Serena Williams, the women in the UFC, you know, but nobody's watching your fucking sport. And then you're gonna come and you're gonna get mad at fucking men. They keep doing that shit. Why are you yelling at us? It's not our fucking job. It's not my fucking job to give a fuck about women's soccer, okay? I have men's sport to pay attention to. It's your bullshit, right? Dude, look at the WNBA. Dude, nobody in the WNBA got COVID. Nobody. They have been playing in front of 300 to 400 people a night for a quarter of a century. Not to mention, it's a male-subsidized league. We gave you a fucking league. None of you showed up. Where are all the feminists? That place should be packed with feminists. Faces painted, wearing jerseys, flashing their titties. Going fucking nuts like the guys do in the upper deck with their big beer titties. Am I on the Jumbotron? Am I doing it? Yeah. You didn't. None of you went to the fucking games. None of you. You failed them. Not me. Not men. Women failed the WNBA. Ladies, name your top 5 all-time WNBA players of all time. Come on. That's it. Name 5 WNBA teams. Name the WNBA team in your fucking city. You can't do it. You don't give a fuck about them. They play night in and night out in front of nobody. It's a fucking tragedy. Right? And then meanwhile, you look at the Kardashians, they're making billions. You look at those Real Housewives shows, they're making money hand over fist, because that's what women are watching. And the money listens. You don't want to watch this shit, you watch this shit. They just shoot it over there, drowning these whores in money. In purses, and shoes, and Botox. It's just raining. It's raining money. Yeah, so the money listens. You'd rather watch that shit. Real Housewives, bunch of women just tearing each other down. Well, maybe that's why your husband left you. Maybe that's why your husband left. That's why you can't have kids, bitch. That's why your ass is as flat as your titties, bitch, right? That's the message you sent. We would rather watch that than see a bunch of women come together as a team and try to achieve a common goal. We would rather watch them absolutely fucking destroy each other. Yeah. No. And then in the end, you come back and you fucking yell at guys. And it's like, all right, so let me get this straight. I have to buy you a drink, stop the axe murderer from coming through the fucking window, and I have to watch WNBA games for you? Like, when are you gonna pick up your end of the couch? Yeah. I don't have any sympathy for women when it comes to shit like that, because every study they've ever done to determine who's smarter, men or women, every study comes back and says women are smarter. Every fucking one. Ladies, you shouldn't be applauding that. You know I'm an asshole. You know this isn't gonna end well. Did he say I'm pretty? Oh my God. Get out of the relationship. If every study says that you're smarter, okay? The question you should be asking yourself was, we're so goddamn smart, how are we in the situation we're in? Well, you're in the situation you're in not because of guys like me, as much as you want to blame me. You know, ladies, you can't tell me you never drove by a sports bar on a football Sunday and looked at the humanity in there? All those dumb guys with their big beer bellies bumping shit. Hey, he's on my fantasy team! Up top! Yeah! You want to get some more mozzarella sticks? Yeah! As a woman with your bigger brain, you never looked in there and thought to yourself, I'm fucking losing to that? I'm losing to that.